It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media news, all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want.
Charles Manson, y'all. Charles Manson. Yes, we will be doing a quick review on what I think is a very resonating interview he had about 30 plus years ago. Again, this is the same Charles Manson that died in November 2017. For decades, Manson was the symbol of evil, a real-life boogeyman, as they say, loomed as the American conception of wickedness. His death ended 40 years of imprisonment. But still, man, watching this video really put a lot of things into perspective as it coincided with things that I've dug up, things that I've researched. I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but damn, we gotta start this show, y'all.
If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the Renault Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice. They told me that less is simple.
What's going on? We need a Reset TV family. I am gravitating away and got a good one for y'all, man. Real quick, Spike Lee this joint. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe. I preferably prefer you to like. This will help me break into the algorithm. Now I'm about to play this clip and we'll be back with the commentary.
The United States is owned by foreign corporations. Nixon opened it up for foreign trade. And when Nixon opened up for foreign trade, the people of Europe and the common market and Spain and different places, they don't care about the United States forest. And in short, the United States has been sold out by people who really don't care for anything but money. I've had all the money in the world 3 times. I had to give it back to keep the game going.
What game?
The game. It's a game. Money is a game. It's only real to the people who work for it. The people that don't need to work for money, it's a monopoly game. It's a game of paper. It's all on paper. I've got a production company, and I've got a recording company, and I've got a mansion in Beverly Hills, and I've got Rolls Royces and Ferraris. I've got everything money can buy, but it's all on paper. Everything's done through the companies and through the tax loopholes, and the people that live on that level, they don't care about the average honest mule that just goes back and forwards to work. They don't care about the children that are in the streets that are thrown out of this upper echelon of existence. And then when all the children fall down into me on my level, I pretty much identify with them because I was a throwaway also. So it goes to the point of, do you really care?
When you said...
And who does care? And if anybody cares, they're considered crazy. I've been 15 years in the nut ward for trying to stop the trees from being cut down, from trying to rearrange a lifestyle of a bunch of people who don't want to change. But they're going to change because the cold wind is blowing.
Now, I usually tell many people in my circle, which is very few, I just use the word many, but the people in my circle and many others who aren't in my circle, will say that. I usually tell them, man, you can get a message from damn near any messenger, despite what their past is, who they are, what they're deemed to be. I mean, look at Manson. Charles was obsessed with a longing to make a name for himself. Obsessed. And even in that obsession, I think he touched on something that many people spoke about when you're dealing with the Federal Reserve, when you're dealing with a farce that is the American dream.
Dignity isn't granted, it's seized when you know who you are and who your enemy is. And let's be clear, your enemy is not the white man who works beside you. It's not your neighbor, it's the system, the machine, the government, the media, the corporations, the banks, the institutions that profit from your labor and criminalize your existence. You are taught to fight each other while they rob you blind. You are trained to blame yourself while they change laws to keep you poor. This isn't about hate. It's about truth. It's about justice. It's about waking up to the con game that has gone on too long. You've been peaceful long enough. You've been patient long enough. You've been dreaming long enough. It's time to stop chasing their dream and start building your own reality. Based not on fantasy, but on freedom, not on handouts, but on self-determination, not on illusions, but on truth, on unity, and on uncompromising resistance. Because once you see the lie, once you feel the fire of truth, you'll never sleep again, and that's when the real power begins.
The American dream used to be described thus: come to America with nothing, and with the great freedoms and opportunity offered by the country, exit life with prosperity. It has also been described as simply the ideal of freedom, of living in a free and robust society with nothing to impede people but an open road. Sure, if you still believe in the Easter Bunny. Now, I'll be honest, you got some people like Manson, not necessarily Manson himself, but some people out here, if not many, they use their bitterness, their failures, right? They excuse it because it has to be a part of some bigger ploy where you just can't make it out. In other words, you got people that won't even try, people that won't use the best of themselves to make a way. But it doesn't take away from truth for those of us that do understand that the game is fixed.
By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long, where they tell you what to believe all day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all.
Because at some point, the concept of America being a place, right, where no matter what, you will leave here, meaning here on earth with prosperity. You will go through the American dream. At some point, this changed. In the post-war world of abundant leisure and instant gratification, an ethos of opportunity, hard work, and the gradual accumulation of wealth fell away, replaced by a longing for instant fame and fortune. Look at social media. Perhaps it was a result of the conspicuous wealth so visible on the new medium of television. You got everybody seeing what fame looks like, and we all want to taste. Not all of us, but let's keep it real, the majority of us. So you got a dog eat dog world. So the things that Charles was talking about, most Americans aren't even hip to this.
The American dream involves, like, getting good grades and then going to college or university so that you can get a good job and a great career. So you can have, a 2-story house in the suburbs with a big backyard with a golden retriever in it and 3.5 kids and a Mercedes and or a BMW. Okay? This is the American dream. And there's nothing wrong with this dream. If that is your dream, cool, go for it. But the thing I've come to realize in life, and it took me a while, it took me well into my 30s to realize is that the American dream is not for all of us. And I realized that the American dream was not for me. And in fact, like living my life a lot of times unconsciously or subconsciously, living my life in a way trying to like get the American dream or acquire the American dream was like taking away from my happiness. And honestly, like I realized this in hindsight. At the time, I was probably 33, 34, somewhere in there. I just realized that something was off. Okay. I found myself coming home from work and like sitting on the computer, watching a lot of videos about minimalism and simple living and things like that. And I just realized like something was off. I just realized like I wasn't happy. I was cool. My life was good. I cannot complain about my life at the time, but I just wasn't happy. And I realized over time, especially when I got deeper into like simple living and things like that, and I realized that, life wasn't all about possessions. It wasn't about, acquiring things. It wasn't about getting more money. Life is really about just like living with what you need, maybe a little more, and like enjoying yourself, being happy. And so I had to figure out like what was going to make me happy in this life. And as easy as that sounds, as simple as that sounds, that's a big step that I think a lot of us never get to.
Now I am curious about the end game. With inflation at an all-time high, homelessness just on the rise, it never stops. It's tripling, quadrupling. I mean, people are still losing homes. There's more of renters than homeowners. The nuclear family is absolved. Our value system is backwards as hell. I am curious about the end game. So when, Charles Manson says the winds are coming, keep in mind he said this 30 plus years ago. We're seeing it now. So for those of us that are hip to all of this, it is hard. It is very difficult to ignore it. Therefore, maintaining happiness is a full-time job, y'all. Keeping up with the Jones ain't gonna cut it. I'm not telling y'all gravitate away and become poor. Gravitate away in terms of just never try to live your life. Don't try to use money. All I'm saying is be careful what you do to get A, B, and C. That's all I'm telling you. We're in strange times, man. So I think it's imperative sometimes every now and then to watch something epic, right? That somebody said decades ago and correlate it, track it to where we are at today. And you tell me if that person's wrong. Forget their history, especially that of a Charles Manson. There's truth in what he was saying. Is what we face today, man. I feel like, I don't know if you guys ever feel like this, but I sometimes feel like the more you know, you're like awake amongst many zombies. And for me, this has been the better part of 20 plus years for me. The only thing I ask you, man, I know so many people that get lost with this type of knowledge, right? The more you learn, some people can't take it. Others, they need to be handled with care, right? Like a baby drinking milk, you give them slow sips. You don't give them the whole bottle and shove it down their throats, because you got a lot of people out here with schizophrenia, man. They're paranoid. They have no faith in humanity, no faith in the system. You don't want to get to that point where you're just like, F it. That's not what I'm saying when I say the game is fixed. There's ways out of it. It takes more discipline, more focus, passion. In other words, you got to be motivated to understand what's in front of you. It's the only way you can go around it. But what say y'all about Charles Manson's take? It may not be new to a lot of y'all that are really hip into what's happening in the world with geopolitics, with national politics, even local politics, the system as a whole. I'm sure there are those of you that's already hip to it, but nonetheless, I would like to know your opinions on all of this. Let me meet you in the comment section. I am gravitating away, and I'm gonna holla at y'all.